Oh. Okay, there was a bit of a hiccup there at the start, but here we are, right on time again. So that's kind of cool. And the big topic of discussion right now is ETA of Penduic and exactly what time they're going to arrive. There's a few people turning up here in Cowes, which was good. I met some of them yesterday afternoon on the dock, and it's all starting to happen. We've got some of the banners up. A lot of them blew down. The weather's been absolute rubbish weather here, raining and very low visibility and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, that's part of the course. And now, fortunately, we can actually see the other side of the Solent. We can see the mainland of the UK. First time I've seen it since I've been here. Anyway, visibility's been very low and clouds are going up a bit. It stopped raining. So if we're lucky, even though it'll be nighttime and cloudy, we may not get some rain. The forecast for the rest of today and tonight is for around about 12 knots of breeze, maybe quietening off a little bit when they come in between the Isle of Wight and the mainland, once they get past the Needles and so on. So it could be a bit slower down the last bit, but we'll have to wait and see. Also, just to, because you'll see it all tonight, there will be a cameraman going on to Penduic well before she crosses the finish line. We may be live at that time with Ada and I giving the live commentary. Jane will be on camera and Rob will be on board doing the filming for the doco and so on, and a few others in the rib in Mona. So you'll see all that happening. They've got their own rib, and there's some big media stuff going on with Penduic's position, leading and winning potentially, touch wood, both line honours and IRC for leg 4, which is big news. And then the big question mark will be what's going to happen to Triana, currently running first outright or overall for all 4 legs. She's possibly going to go slow, and that means that we won't know who gets the key trophy, the key prize, which is the IRC handicapping first within the OGR. That's the prize. It means everyone's in for a chance to win it, and that's going to take quite a few days after Penduic gets across the line. So watch out for that one. It'll be quite interesting to see how that pans out. Anyway, as for the tweets, so as you know, Citran is our race charity sort of thing. We support them wherever we can. It's a very good institute here in the UK at Sheffield, and they focus on motor neuron disease, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and dementia, and so on. All those neuro challenges that people unfortunately sometimes suffer. And today is also World Parkinson's Day. And I think everyone knows that Parkinson's got a big presentation on Neptune. And so you'll see a post come up shortly. We just spoke to Neptune and Bertrand about an hour ago, on their scheduled soundcloud call. That'll come up, and he's talking about World Parkinson's Day as well. And he'd actually given flags and bits to all the boats, and they've taken photos for today and sent them in, and Jane will get that up as a post later on, so you'll see that. The other topic of discussion on tweets is, generators breaking down and engines breaking down, and freezers failing and throwing food out, all those sorts of things. Haven't got any updates on Triana with their lack of food, but I'm sure that'll come later on. And that's about it. So let's get into it and see how everything's going. So I hit that. I haven't worried about getting windy up today because it's pretty straightforward. The forecast is settled for Penduic. So here we go. We'll just have a brief look and then we'll talk about it in detail. Penduic is closing the coast. You can see the weather softening off. Now down to 8 knots. She was doing 9.9 something or 9.2 previously. So she got 8 knots, and very quickly you can see she's got about 80 miles, less than 80 miles. So if she maintains that speed and sails a direct course to the finish, it's going to be another 10 hours, and it's already 1 o'clock. So that's 9 o'clock tonight. 11 o'clock tonight. So it's actually slipping back again towards 2300 UTC. Anyway, let's leave that for the moment. We'll work our way back through the fleet just to follow this situation. The Esprit de Keep is now about 350 miles behind Penjuic. So that's going to be probably a couple of days by the time the weather backs off. And then beyond that, another 140 miles for L'Esprit de Keep. For Spirit of Helsinki, but they're gaining. They're actually sailing pretty quick at the moment. So, but anyway, that's going to be another half a day. We're all hoping that we're not getting too many boats coming in at night time. Always the challenge, but that's life. So let's have a bit of a quick overview on everyone. I'll get this up here so we've got a stronger or bigger screen. Come on, move that. Okay, so it's all happening. Very iffy weather, and as we saw yesterday when we discussed it, it's all going to get very fluky down here going forward, but it's already starting to happen. So we'll start at the back end of the fleet again, and we've got Explorer sailing into some light stuff, doing 4.8 knots now, and you can see this is the light bits here. Still pretty surprised at their course. They're going north. They've got issues still with the head sails and so on, because that breeze is not much past on the beam. They're probably saying about 80 degrees apparent wind, 70 to 80 degrees apparent right now, and getting softer. So they only managed 92 miles in the last 24 hours. Not so good. And Sterner's doing 3.8 knots, and that's very easy to see what's happening. There's a big trough here, and slowing them right up. They've only done 125 miles the last 24 hours, and that's probably going to go on for a while now. So White Shadow, 6 knots, 124-mile day. Again, not making big ground, but doing okay. Galliana with Secure, 7 knots. Still got the breeze, only just. You can see just over here, it was a bit quiet, but they're still making good ground. And just to leeward of them, Triana only doing 6.7. And this could be the beginning of the slowdown that we discussed yesterday, which starts to impact their overall position for all 4 legs in the race. So they don't know that yet. I doubt what they'd be calculating that, but they just know this leg is costing them dearly. They've gone terribly slow. They've had a bad deal with the weather, whereas at the other end of the scale, Penjuic, they've had some really good breaks with the weather. It's balanced out pretty well, but this closing run to the finish, no one's going to have quite as good as what you've got there, and that's worked in their favour as well. So Triana, we said that 6.7, 175-mile day though. That's pretty good. And Galliana, 180-mile day. So Galliana turning the corner there a little bit quicker. Evrika, for whatever reason, heading out to the northwest, did a 100-mile day, and maybe they're getting forecasts, I'm sure. So maybe it's part of his tactic to keep away from that light weather that's coming in the future here. It showed, if I remember rightly from yesterday, the breeze hanging out on the western side of the course. So maybe that's why he's going up there. But anyway, 100 miles in the last 24 hours, 5.4 for Evrika. Outlaw, 9.7, 206. That's pretty keen. That's very good. They'd be happy with that lot. So no complaints. And Maiden roaring along. They've been flying. Some of the numbers coming out, they're all the other side of 10. So there's 10 plus something for the last 12 hours or so nearly. 230-mile day. They're happy with that. They're managing to pull away from Triana, their competition in that regard. And no complaints at all. Doing very well. Neptune, plenty of breeze. Bertrand was saying, Tan, the skipper, was saying 2025, they've got their big asymmetric spinnaker up. They've had this for a couple of days. Had a beautiful night last night. Really enjoying the run home to the finish. And they're concentrating hard on navigation to make sure they're not wasting any opportunity. And they've done 217-mile days. So they're having a great run in this leg of the race, which is good. They've had a bad one and a couple and two bad one and 2 average ones, and now they're having a pretty good deal. So everyone seems to be happy on board, and they're all focused on finishing. It's time to get off the boat, he said. They've been on the boat for quite a while. And Tan more so than anything. I take my hat off to him because he really has pulled this whole thing together, and it's very impressive. So, and he's keen to go again in 27. So I think we'll probably see him line up, and he says he will be much better prepared next time. So that's cool. Spirit of Helsinki, 10.2 and 136-mile day. That's strange because I would have thought he'd cover more than that. I don't know whether that's right. He did go slow for a bit, but that's a very low daily run because their speeds have been up pretty well. Anyway, we'll believe it for now. On Esprit de Keep, that's wrong there. They didn't do 331-mile days, so there could be a couple of unders and overs there. maybe L'Esprit de Keep stole the nautical mile run off the computer from Spirit of Helsinki, so that's not quite right. Anyway, that's how it's looking, and we'll now, I think, at this level here, we'll forget about Penjuic for a minute. We'll just look at what's going to happen in this part of the fleet and bring the weather forward 2 days. Penjuic have got weather, and it's going to hold like that all the way through to the finish. So just going a bit quiet in between the Isle of Wight and the mainland. So we don't have to worry about that too much. So we'll now just start looking at 2-day run forward. You can see L'Esprit de Keep and Spirit of Helsinki and Neptune. It looks like Maiden are holding the breeze. Might get a bit softer on the L'Esprit de Keep, but generally holding the breeze through till tomorrow. Maiden will want to get a move on, but I think she's still okay. So here we go. There's the first run now, the first day. Okay, so let's just assume Maiden's done at least 200 miles. That's where she's going to be. Still working soft. So Maiden will be around here in 24 hours. Okay, and you can see already it's dying off. So that means I reckon she'll probably do 200 miles. She's sitting there. It's getting softer. I think Neptune will be, they're just that much ahead of them, and I think they'll be okay. They'll keep going and hold this breeze. The same with Spirit of Helsinki. I think they'll hold the breeze as long as they don't cut the corner too close. So, which normally they will probably cut the corner because that's the direct route. So they may slow down again after that 24 hours. Outlaw, bit of a problem. They're going to end up here going slow. Galliana with Secure and Triana, big problem, huge problem. They're going to just about stop, I reckon. They're going to be stuck in this lot here, very light stuff. If not stop, they'll be doing 3 to 4 knots. That's probably more realistic. Evrika, I'm not sure where they're going. Out here, they're going to have to turn eventually because there's the run line. Here it is back to the course. They're 90 degrees off course at the moment, sailing to the weather they have. So they'll flop over probably and then come back on port tack on this breeze here. And then down here, it's a problem because they've got light headwinds. So again, Sterner's not going to go far. White Shadow's not going to go far. And don't even ask about Explorer because I've had a look and it's just a nightmare for Explorer for about the next 6 or 7 days. It's going to be all basically headwinds. So Explorer is going to be very late, first week of May, I reckon. Anyway, that's just on day 1, the first 24 hours. So let's just put these all back here. I won't worry about Penjuic for the moment, and we'll click through to the next 24 hours as we go, and you can see headwinds and growing headwinds. This is going to slow down Triana and so on. Not heavy at the moment, but they're building. Outlaws up here somewhere. Maiden's going to be okay by then. They'll be out of this and they'll be into this lot and heading towards the UK. And I think the Spirit of Keep is just going to be hooked up in these lighter winds all the way across. So they're going to, whilst they're only at the moment 440 miles from the finish, they're not going to be doing 2 by 220 mile days. They're going to, one of these days, going to slow down to about 150, 160 maybe. So we'll wait and see when they turn up. Anyway, that's not quite 24 hours yet. Here we come through and the breeze picks up a bit in the English Channel. Oh, I went a bit too far there. There it is. Oh, so that's it there. So this is 2 days ahead. And any breeze that's down here for 2 days is probably, they're only going to probably make about 300 miles in a straight line because they're going to be tacking. So you can see wherever they are, whatever they're doing, Triana and Galliana are all headwinds in here. Same with Outlaw. I think Outlaw will be on the top end of the headwinds, but that's going to slow them up. Evrika, either headwinds or sailing into the center of the high. So these 3 to 4 are losing out big time. No more slow ride to the finish. White Shadow over here could be all right because it's coming down the side here, coming from the east. It's a lot better coming from the east than the headwind. So White Shadow might catch up a little bit. And Sterner, I'm not sure. Going to be headwinds or no winds. They're going to be in here somewhere still. So not encouraging for the back end. The front end, they're actually making it through. So Maiden, Neptune, Spirit of Helsinki, and the Spirit of Keep, they're all on their way. And the others are going to go slow. Right? And again, that's talking about what's happening to Sterner. And Evrika and Triana, the main one. You can see here, Explorer, how much fun is that? Just going to be building headwinds, okay? Not much fun at all. So the party's over for a while. Anyway, it's not bad, but it's like 25 knot true headwinds, so gusting 30 or 25 to 30 apparent over deck, strapped down. At least they might be able to get rid of their head sail and just go under staysail, reef main, and just plod along. At least they'll be at a point. So that's not too bad. All right, that's enough of that. Let's now go to Penjuic, and I'll just explain everything that's happening here for the finish. Okay, so you can see pretty clearly where the run line is and also where the breeze is. They're actually tacking downwind. I can't see the course very well there. They're purple, so I don't know whether you can see that, but you can see they've been basically tacking downwind across the wind to keep probably got I'm not sure the kites they got on board. I was going to say an asymmetric, but maybe not. Maybe just a big tri-radial or something that they can get going or whatever. Anyway, they're not heading straight to the run line, straight to the finish. They're going boom, 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 and then in. And that will mean they're traveling further to get there. But generally speaking, you can say a few things. Near enough to 8, this is at 12 o'clock UTC, 1 o'clock local time UK. They had 78.5 miles to the finish. Let's call that 80 miles. And they're doing 8 knots. So that's 10 hours if they manage to maintain the 8 knots vector made good towards the finish right here. I don't think they'll do that, but let's first of all calculate that. So that's 10 hours, right? From 10 hours from 1200 hours UTC. So that puts them in at 2200 UTC. Now they are going to get lighter winds. I've got to come back to today's weather. Here's what we got now. And you can see it's pretty light. So this is forecasting 12 knots. They've sort of got 12 knots at the moment. And then going through to late in the day, it's going to slowly pick up to 14 knots and then maybe 15 knots, but then it's going to die down when they're in the solent there, going in between the island here. It's going to get a lot softer. And that distance there, just not having looked at a chart on that for so long, it's 12 miles. They could slow down at least another hour in there. So 2300, it's looking like maybe 2300 UTC or midnight tonight, somewhere between 10 o'clock and midnight tonight, local time. I think we'll see them enter this Solent here and start going down. I don't know what the tides are doing. When we do the update later today, again on Facebook, we will give you an indication of what the tidal movement in, because if it's roaring out, there's some reasonable tides still at the moment. When the tide's roaring out, that'll slow them up as well. If it's coming in, it'll speed them up. So watch this space. Pretty impressive though. And as I say, she just rang. Unfortunately, I didn't cop it. I was there with Ada. We went and set up for the call because I wanted to have a chat with Marie, just a little chat before, just to congratulate her and everything, even though they're not finished, touch wood. And then Ada was going to take over for the French, but I had to leave to come back here to do the tracker and left the phone with Ada. She just rang and said she'd had a big chat with her and all's good. So we'll hear that on SoundCloud shortly. Okay, leaderboards. Let's have a look. So for this leg, clearly in the lead, Penjuic, 37 days, 6 hours, 39 days, 14 hours for L'Esprit de Keep, 41.14 for Spirit of Helsinki. So that's all very much in a commanding position. No one's got the chance to take that away from her. Once Marie and the crew, who are doing a fantastic job, get across the line, it's pretty much assured that they will take out line honours plus IRC, which is very impressive. So you'll see them with the banners for both, probably, touch wood, once they cross the line. And just looking down, Maidens down there, there's a few on 42 days, and then Outlaw, Galliano with Secure, Triana, 47 days and 9 hours, 47. So 10 days behind Penjuic. Wow, that's pretty amazing. So you're all wondering what's happening on the other side. We'll go down and do the rankings overall for combined results for leg 1, 2, 3, and now coming up to leg 4. I just muffed that up. I just realised I was probably on. It wasn't on IRC then. I was talking about the finish time. I better go back and. Oh no, too late. Sorry, I muffed that. Not thinking. The results I was just talking about them weren't the IRC, I don't think. I think they were line honours overall. So anyway, who cares? This is the more important one. Okay, so we've got Triana on 179 days, 21 hours. And we've got Penduic on 181 days and 1 hour. So, 81, yeah, it's still holding a day and a bit, but it's changing. It's changing. It's interesting because I thought that was higher. So she's actually gained a bit there. The numbers are changing. I've written them down. I don't have them in front of me. So I'm watching the alterations. But anyway, so she's still 80, 80. So that's 81. So 1 day. No, it's getting close. So it's 3 hours there, plus that gets to 80. So 3 hours plus a full day. So that's a day and 4 hours. So yes, so losing ground to Penduic already quite heavily. That's quite a lot. So only 1 day and 4 hours up his sleeve. Wow. Okay. So I think Marie will be happy to see that when she gets ashore. So that's looking very impressive. Now, where's Maiden? Oh boy, here we go. So Maiden is now 81. Maiden's only 9 hours behind. No, less than that. Sorry, 7. What am I talking about? I'm getting confused. 7 hours and something. Holy dooly. It ain't over for the Maiden girls yet. Because they've been flying. They've been doing 10 knot stuff, which has put them in a stronger position. And then look at that. Spirit of Helsinki. Same deal. Spirit of Helsinki is only 81 and 9 hours. Holy dooly. So there's only 7 odd hours between Penduic and Maiden, and then there's another 1 hour, 1 hour between Maiden and Spirit of Helsinki. Now on that's getting really interesting. Then it changes to Galliana. So there's the story, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I'm not going to predict anything, but it could be. Well, let's wait and see. I mean, Helsinki and Maiden have gone held to leather against each other on numerous occasions. It's happening right now. There is 1 hour between them. All right, 1 hour between the two, and I can't predict that one. Helsinki's coming up there, but we'll go back and have a look at something in a minute. So 1 hour between Maiden, Penduic, and a day and a bit between Triana. I think Triana's going to be hard to hold on to what she's got, but let's wait and see. I just want to we'll just put the weather back up on here, and I just want to, just as for my own personal use, I want to see what's going on with no, there's only, okay, so okay, Maiden is 800 miles from the finish. She's got to try and maintain that 10 knots for that period of time, and just quickly going through. Nope, there's the killer there. That I think this is gonna. Oh, maybe not. Depends on where she is. Too close to call here. Oh, that might be a problem. This is on the 14th. So it's 3 days ahead. 3 days ahead. No, it could be through that. It should be up here by then. So, boy, there's still a few fluky things there. Get hooked up in any of this, and Maiden will slow down. But Helsinki might hold it. So, okay. So just for fun, let's say it looks like Helsinki might have a chance of catching up an hour over Maiden, which would put them in front of Maiden. And whether Maiden can hold the high average speeds all the way to the finish, it's really hard to say. I wouldn't like to predict it, but it's all wide open all over the place. There's the soft bit as well. Look at that being right the way through. So couldn't pick it, but it's up for grabs for Maiden and Helsinki, and also for Penduic in relation to Triana. Wow. All right, that's enough of that. And let's go back to here, and I'll just say good day to everyone. Jeepers, that took a while too. That was 25 minutes. Okay, but it's all getting very interesting. Hi, Kathleen. Afternoon, Mike. And overall there. Yeah, it's overall. Georgie overruled me. He said, no, it's overall. So we're talking overall. I keep saying outright. So then I quickly changed myself to overall. So the overall winner will be IRC. There's an interesting discussion because I was talking to Barry Pictou yesterday, who's coming over, by the way. So Barry will be here, and Tim, our illustrious photographer, is here. Barry's writing for various magazines and stuff. He's our ambassador for the OGR, amazing historian. We'll get him online. We'll get him chatting here later on, talking about the race. Anyway, what he was saying is there was a big deal about line honours. Barry thought it was, the big deal was line honours in the original Whitbread races. And line honours was important. Che had a good crack at line honours, of course, because he had GB2, a big boat. And I always maintain that back in those days, even then, the IOR winner, which is the handicap winner back then, was far more important because it's something that any boat in the race can win. But if you've got an 82-footer sailing against a 51-footer, like Scott Bank Finland or something, you ain't got a chance of, so what's the point of line honours? Nonetheless, so we, whatever, they had IR in those days, we've got an IRC, and our number one trophy, the winner of the trophy, will actually be the IRC winner. And as a by the way, it's all going to be top secret, but boy, if we commissioned a trophy, which is really interesting. So it's a very impressive perpetual trophy for OGR if all goes well. They've got to build it, they've got to make it now. They're underway, but there's another bit of news. Stand by when you see the trophy for IRC, the perpetual trophy. That's the only perpetual trophy we have. We don't have a perpetual line honours trophy because we place a lot of importance of sharing the opportunity to win the race. Okay, so little boats could win, medium boats could win, big boats could win the race. And as it stands right now, it looks very interesting. The battle is between, dare I say it, the battle is between Penduic, Triana, Helsinki, and Maiden. Okay, they're the four that all have a potential crack at taking out line honours. Taking out IRC overall. So that's the big one. And boy, just grabbing overall and IRC for leg 4 for Marie and her crew, Tom and all the boys and girls on board, is very impressive, no doubt about it. So that's going to be fun to see that happen. Hopefully, touch wood, never over till the fat lady sings. Enough of that. Anyway, on with the question here. Hi, peeps. Hi, Rick. Rob, a big bowl of popcorn. Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a good finish. Hanging out in Adelaide. Yep. Francis, Elizabeth. Good morning, everyone. Jerry, if anyone knows why I get this error message when trying to watch this live, please tell me. Knows OB. I'm not sure what that is. Quite strong tidal currents in the channel and Solent. Should Penduic be aware and take these into account? Well, they are. They have to have tide tables on board, so they know exactly what's going on. And again, it's like the luck of the draw. Because I've got to say that, this is yacht racing. Some boats will get better deal on the weather than other boats. And, finishing now, you can see the top 4 boats have all they'll have a good deal, and the boats in the middle are going to lose out. So there's a separation. But it's the same with tides as well. If you arrive there and the tide's against you, you're going to get hammered for 4 or 5 hours. And someone arrives there just at the right time, you're going to get a big boost, kick up the behind for 4 or 5 hours. Oh, well, they won't be there. They'll only be in there for a short time. But there you go. So part of the challenge. But yeah, big tides in this part of the world. Will Penduic go on Hourly Tracker? She's already on Hourly Tracker. Penduic is on Hourly right now. It has been for some time. And then as they get closer, they go sort of live across the finish line. So watch out for that. You can follow it all. Southwesterly blow for Avrika coming in a few hours to the west on windy. Yep, that's cool. Any news from Translated 9 repairs? Yeah, I meant to share the post, but we're going to have a lot of posts up today on that. But they're out of the water. Rudder's out. Everything's getting stripped out. They're onto it already. Get onto their social media and you'll see everything that's happening blow by blow. But after I get off here, I will actually send the share the post across. So watch out for that. Okay, yeah. What will the tide be doing for Penduic arrival? I'm not sure. I'll check that out later on because we don't know the exact time, so there's no point in guessing now. It's an overcomplication. When we know exactly when she's coming down, we'll tell you what the tide's doing. So just at the last minute. Penduic should come in around 5 p.m. for me. Got my chair, popcorn thing. Okay, good on you, Kathleen. Ada, I'm glad you put a post up. She also said she wants you to bring cold champagne, not warm. Oh, jeepers. Okay, we can fess up now. I'm a great believer of not wasting anything. And when you get champagne and you spray it everywhere, why do you want a bottle of 68 euro champagne? So we don't spend a lot of money on the spray champagne. But this time we actually have proper, genuine French champagne for when they finish. We don't have big Magnum bottles because that's just out of the question. But yes, Marie will get a Magnum champagne, and we might even put it in the freezer as long as I don't forget. Because that's another story. It bubbles more if you keep it warm. If you keep it warm and it's spray, it's great. So we actually did spray tests on some of the bottles just to make sure they work. Anyway, that's a long story. Hence the OGR logos on the bottles of champagne we have for all the other legs. But this one, it's actually real French champagne. But don't get too excited because it's still not the top shelf, not brand name. We had no one supporting us for that. But there you go. Okay, I'll do that, Ada, I promise. Following on to the Netherlands, good on you, Simon. Unlike last weekend, there's a great conditions off the south of the UK currently. Yeah, was hoping to be out there. Okay, bad luck. Okay, I'm just looking at the questions. I jumped one. At this point in time, Maiden and Spirit of Helsinki kind of benefit from being where they are, as they have enough distance to go in hard hand to possibly make up the difference in IRC with Penduic. Interesting. I don't know about catching Penduic, but I mean, they're not far away, and so they could. So it's very interesting. Absolutely, I agree. It's a bit wide open for everyone there, and that's part of the fun now. Okay, Simon, Maiden. Yep, go Maiden. French may not agree for that bottle. French may, that's Jane. The French may not agree for that bottle. I'm not sure what she's saying, not agree. I never get it right. Anyway, that's it. So we will keep an eye on the updates on Facebook. We're trying to get something up on the opening homepage of the website just to start people pegging it down. Most people know we're here on Facebook. That's where the lives will be. By the way, if you haven't actually liked OGR Facebook, please do. We're still only running 25% of people that comment and do all the bits that are actually listed as one of our supporters. I think we're 21, heading to 22,000 or something. But it's good to see the numbers go up. So if you haven't liked our spot there, do that. That'd help us. Thank you. And if you're watching on YouTube, you could actually subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is cool. There'll be a lot of things going on between now and the finish, and then between now and the next edition of the race, you'll see some profiles and bits and pieces. Anyway, it's not over yet. This is just the first boat to finish. Okay, that's enough. I'll hit this and see you later on tonight. That'll be